Here we go, guys. Dawn of War Soulstorm commentary. It's Dr. Orc versus Servant, and no prizes for guessing which race Dr. Orc is playing. Here he is over here at the 6 o'clock position. And Servant is Eldar. But the map is Battle Marshes, and Battle Marshes is actually a relatively small-ish map. I mean, most of the one-on-one Soulstorm maps are fairly small. But Battle Marshes has two start locations, one at the 12 o'clock where Servant is, one at the 6 o'clock where Dr. Orc is, and there are two ways around to your opponent's space. You can't go through the center of the map because that's got a big sort of forested ridge, which is impassable. But there's an eastern pass and a western pass, and each side has a critical location at it. The relics are at the far left and the far right, so the 9 o'clock and the 3 o'clock. And throughout this game, I'll be referring to the East Pass and the West Pass, and most of the action is likely to occur in those locations. For example, we've got the Slugger Boy squad from Dr. Orc actually heading out to the critical location in the Eastern Pass here, where the craters are. You can see that in the mini-map, and he's just heading around to the relic as well to pick that up. And Servant is just sort of fanning out, spreading out from his base here and capturing some listing posts nearby. He's built some He's built some rangers, and these units aren't quite as effective against Orc as they are against Space Marines, given the fact that the Big Mech commander unit from Orcs actually detects invisible units. But rangers still are excellent harassment units. They just do such huge more damage that they're really worth getting, and you can use Fleet of Foot on them, so that's great as well. And here's Servant using Fleet of Foot right now. So heading down the Western Pass, southern side, and actually moving straight into range of that listening post. But here's the Big Mech, so these Rangers won't be able to be infiltrated. The Big Mech is just charging straight, and right before the Rangers can get their second shot off, and there's one poor Eldar going flying already. And that Big Mech just chasing off the Eldar. So the Orcs look pretty well unmolested here, pretty unharassed. And on the Eastern Pass, we've got the Shooter Squad just walking forward into the craters, and the Eldar are here to greet them. So we've got the Eldar Farseer has arrived. She's heading straight into the squad here, and this is a really good move by Servant, just getting the Farseer into combat while keeping the Guardians back to shoot. But it looks like Dr. Orc has two squads, so he should be able to keep at least one squad firing by the looks there. And back to the Western Pass here, we've got Guardians heading around with Fleet of Foot on to secure the relic, but there are Orcs coming in from behind, so not sure how well that'll go, the act of securing it. These Grots, these Gretchen, just running around the relic, but the Farseer has intercepted them, and looks like she'll actually take out the whole squad. Well, it's a worker squad, so to speak, so workers aren't too difficult to get rid of, especially not Gretchen. And looks like we've got a Rangers have swung straight around, and they've actually joined the Eldar army over on the eastern side here, and giving the Orcs some trouble. And over on the west, yeah, indeed, the Guardians have been chased away, and there's the Orcs who are taking the relic on the western side. And here's where the action is. Unfortunately for the Orcs, the Big Mech is nowhere to be seen. We've got the Eldar really taking control of the situation, I feel, because essentially, I mean, there's three Eldar squads, but there's two squads plus a hero unit, plus a commander unit, and that Farseer can just keep the shooter boys outside their occupied. As you can see, she's charging in, preventing them from doing any serious shooting, and just knocking them down, stunning them, taking a few out here and there. In the meantime, the Guardians and the Farseers can deal with a single remaining squad. Back over here at the west, looks like we've got Dark Reapers, but this is where the Big Mech is chosen to be deployed. That's where Dr. Orc has decided to bring him. Teleporting away into combat there, but the Dark Reapers should be able to dish out a serious amount of damage unless they are engaged in combat. And speaking of combat, looks like we've got the Rangers right in the thick of it. Rangers, not very good unit in combat, but looks like they're doing a few roundhouse kicks and so forth, and doing some damage anyway, doing their best. This Farseer who's really going to be best in combat, but I kind of feel like the plan here from Servant is just to keep the Orcs bogged down in combat without, you know, rushing into their base, causing any more harassment, and waiting to get the resources to build a soul shrine and then get some more serious upgrades and stuff before he actually starts committing to some serious battles. And he seems to be doing fairly well just bogging down the Orcs at the moment. Looks like each player is restricted to his own sort of 50-50 side of the map. and the Orcs haven't really gained any upper ground. By the way, some people consider this matchup to be imbalanced. Other people consider it to be balanced, especially at very high level. In my own experiences, I think Eldar have a little bit of a tough time earlier on in the game, but it doesn't seem like that big a deal, and I've heard news that the Soulstorm patch has been announced. It's going to be coming out. It may have already even come out by the time you watch this commentary, and there have been some balance changes made. Looks like here the Big Mech is... Oh, the Big Mech is actually going to be surrounded here by... Well, not quite surrounded, but engaged by 4 Eldar squads. So it looks like servAntoa has chosen to bring his entire force over to the western pass here. And this is a good move by him. Initially, he was doing well just by holding up both units, both sides of the map. And there you go, the Big Mech is teleported away. He's barely got any health left. So I think that was a good move by Dr. Orc in general. And we've got some Storm Boys as well, so they will be doing pretty well once they get into combat. They're a very good unit to take on Dark Reapers. Just jump straight into range and then engage them in combat, and then chase after them. Tends to be a good idea. So Servant bringing in a couple of squads here. These are his squads with the longest range. We've got the Dark Reapers in one hand and the Rangers here, just shooting away at the listing post. And you can see the Orcs gathering up in the background, ready for an assault. And Dr. Orc just wants to be completely ready for this before he charges out, because he knows he'll take casualties if he just runs out straight away. But once he's ready, he will move out, and those Orcs are not going to be easy to stop. Over on the eastern side, the Orcs Slugger Squad here have actually just charged straight over and attacking the Eldar base, attacking the listening post there. They won't kill that very quickly or easily, but it's a distraction for the Eldar player. And, Servant can't really afford to bring too many of his units back, given the fact that the Orcs are about to charge out en masse upwards of the western pass here. And those Guardians are going to have to get stop catching that critical. There are Guardians capturing the Relic as well, and they've been attacked as well. And we've got Banshees, Howling Banshees, really nice unit choice here. It's a bit of an uncommon choice because Howling Banshees are quite weak, quite vulnerable, especially in the earlier sides of the game. They're a lot better once you've got that War Shout upgrade, and I think, yes indeed, I believe that Servant has actually got a Soul Shrine up and running, so once he gets that upgrade going, that Call of War upgrade I believe it's called, then those Howling Banshees might actually be worth it for him in the long run. He's just stuck to the single squad of Dark Reapers, and most people continue to build Dark Reaper squads, build 2 or 3 squads. I personally like to build as many Dark Reaper squads as I can get if I'm really in a sort of slugging it out tier 1 kind of style game. But Servant hasn't chosen to do that. He's really mixed it up with a Ranger squad, Reaper squad, and Howling Banshee squad, and let's see how well it does for him. We'll find out shortly. But he's even got a Scatter Laser platform defending the western pass here, and that wasn't too bad an idea given the fact that he'd already headed out to the eastern pass to deal with the Orcs over there. He's returning now, but the thing is, the Orcs are going to be able to steamroll this platform like it was nothing. Here they are about to do that, and that is not going to last very long, but it will give Servant a little bit of time to return. And here he is now, just lining up the forces, getting ready for a battle, and looks like he's waiting for something. I can't really tell. And there's a Soul Shrine, by the way, just in the foreground that you missed. And here come the Storm Boys, just jumping over the forest, the impassable terrain there, and attacking straight into that listing post, that LP2 as we call it, upgrade the listing post to level 2. And the Banshee's quickly engaging, and I quite like that because the Banshee's very mobile unit, very quick with fleet of foot, as most other Eldar units are. And they are easily able to intercept that threat and deal with it. So looks like Servant is really ready to just get engaged, get stuck in. And that appears to be what is happening right now. Just having a look at what's going on. We've got the Dark Reapers being assaulted by the Storm Boys, so they are heading back. I like it how Servant is actually attached as fast here to the Dark Reaper squad. There are a couple of reasons why that's actually a really good idea. Number one, Dark Reapers aren't very good in combat, and their Farseers boost that because Dark Reaper is going to be a prime target for enemy close combat squads to engage. And number two, they're always going to be in range if you want to use Guide on them. So I actually think that's a really cool idea. I might use that myself in the future when playing Eldar. Putting my Farseer in the Dark Reaper squad, so there's a lesson learned for war. But we've got a squad of shooters which have been teleported into the Eldar base, right smack bang into the middle of it with the Big Mac. And they are blasting things left, right, and center. So Servant's actually under a bit of pressure here. He could start losing some buildings if he doesn't actually get some defense going soon. But here comes